Tune Into Care is produced in Meanjin, Brisbane on Turrbal and Yagara country. We acknowledge the traditional owners as the custodians of this land, and we pay our respects to elders past and present. Tune Into Care is brought to you by Wellways Carer Gateway. Carer Gateway is an Australian government initiative providing free services and support for carers. Welcome back to Tune Into Care. In this episode, we're sharing the inspiring story of Gerowyn, who after many years of caring for everyone around her while dealing with injury, illness, and her own neurodiversity diagnosis, reached breaking point leading to major burnout. Gerowyn has tapped into a number of the Wellways Carer Gateway services, including coaching and the Vocational Pathway program, which helped her find her way towards a new career. Gerowyn, I think it's so nice to have you involved in this episode. Mm-hmm. I'd love to know a little bit more about you, and we're going to discover that as we chat, but I think the best way to kick things off for us, if you just say, who's Gerowyn?
It's a complex question, and I think everybody has a diverse background. But basically, I'm a mum. I homeschool. I am a carer for my two autistic boys, as well as my 86-year-old mum who's recently broken a hip. And I have a 28-year-old daughter who's just recently been diagnosed with autism and ADHD and hypermobility and a whole heap of other things.
So you have a lot going on at the moment.
Yeah, plus I've got autism recently, late diagnosed as well, and hypermobility. So, yeah.
So essentially caring for four. How old are the boys?
I've got a 16-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Okay. And your mum's 86.
86.
That's a lot happening under one roof.
Yes.
Isn't it? That is a lot happening. Tell me, when did you first discover Wellways Carer Gateway?
5 years ago when I was in a complete autistic burnout and didn't realise that was what it was. The doctor was trying to tell me it was depression. I'm like, that really doesn't fit. I was just completely and utterly burnt out trying to care for my mum, who at the time was needing a hip replacement. Moving house right in the middle of the COVID lockdowns. So yeah, I ended up in a complete autistic burnout, didn't realise what it was. My aged care lady out at Lockyer Waters suggested Carers Gateway might be able to help support me, and Carers Gateway was a lifeline. I don't think I would have managed without it.
What did they do that made it feel that way?
Well, they listened for one. They went through the Care Star review, actually looking at what my needs were, what I was getting for my care, as well as career possibilities or psychological issues and mental health issues and physical capacities, and just looking at how badly burnt out I was. I mean, I knew I was bad, I just didn't realise quite how bad. So yeah, just being there to listen. Mum was able to go into respite and they helped pay the out-of-pocket cost of the... Yeah. So my aged care paid for part and Carers Gateway paid for the other part.
They cover that as well.
So that I got 2 weeks break, which just helped her reset a little bit.
It helped her reset?
It helped me reset,
Yeah.
It helped her reset, it helped the kids reset.
Yeah. You've got a lot on your plate. Obviously, you've been caring for the boys and your mum. When it comes to your career, has caring gotten in the way at certain points?
It's completely changed the track completely. I've had to really work through a lot of grief over it. With my daughter, when I first started homeschooling her due to issues at school and it just not working for her, she was ADHD. I didn't know she was autistic as well. At the time I was doing an IT degree. I'd done 2 out of 3 years of my degree, and to start homeschooling her as a single mum, I had to stop my IT degree completely. So yeah, it took 2 years off my studies. Of course, they all told me I wasn't going to come back, and I'm like, yeah, watch me.
Yeah. And what did you do, Gerowyn?
I went back and not only got my IT degree, I got a double degree in IT and multimedia with an award major in interactive entertainment and games programming and a major in computers and intelligence systems.
So that's incredible.
So it took me 13 years.
So 13 years
It took 13 years to get the double degree.
Okay.
And then unfortunately had a car accident, ended up with whiplash, and couldn't work at the computer.
So the degree was put on hold again, and then you found yourself caring for yourself again.
Caring for myself again, and I had another child.
Okay.
So then I had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I was actually trying to get Matthew diagnosed when he was about 2. And that was when the psychologist initially said, "Have you ever heard the symptoms of a female with Asperger's?" I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I fit a box." I've never fit into any boxes, but I fit that box.
Yeah.
But then I put it aside because I wasn't having an issue. It was in the back of my head, but I didn't really think about it too much because I was so focused on caring for my kids, caring for my mum, and just doing mum stuff.
Doing your stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy to call it mum stuff, but it is caring.
It is, and I didn't realise that until I broke. And it wasn't until I had the autistic burnout that I was struggling and reached out for help.
So you said the Wellways Carer Gateway was a lifesaver for you. It was so great. But in what way? What have they helped you implement?
They helped me go. So I did some counselling with them to start off with, as well as the respite care for mum. They also helped with different resources for the boys because the boys are actually registered as young carers as well.
Great.
So they've got support from Little Dreamers as well as Carers Gateway.
That's so good. Are they enjoying that?
Oh, it's fantastic because at one point we were isolated on a regional property. I wasn't able to drive, and Carers Gateway and Little Dreamers made it so that the boys had somebody coming out and actually taking them out of the house so that they got some respite as well.
So they could have some time away from home and actually go and do it.
They got to have some kid time.
Yeah, great.
Rather than having to either care for grandma or something else like that. So it just provided them that extra support as well. Because a lot of people don't think about the kids.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because you wouldn't think that children are caring for their
hugely.
86-year-old grandmother, but they do care
Absolutely.
in a certain way.
I mean, Jonathan helps grandma put his shoes on.
Yeah.
He picks up things for her when she can't reach them.
Yeah.
He runs to the other end of the house to grab things. Matthew was helping with making meals. Was
At
helping
such a
with
young
the
age,
washing.
the boys are there to help out.
Absolutely. I mean, Matthew's been young carer for grandma. Like, we didn't know it, but he'd been doing it since he was 7, and he's now 16.
Yeah. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
So that's the last 5 years that the boys have been involved as well since you joined.
So when I started with Carers Gateway, I got the boys their assistance as well, which actually worked out really well when I broke my leg, because it meant Carers Gateway actually helped me where no one else would. It was an amazing support. They helped connect me with other services as well.
Is there someone in particular that you've seen a lot through the Wellways Carer Gateway?
The person there are 2 people at the moment that are really helping me get my life back on track, especially with separation and marriage issues. Sally is the coach. Absolutely amazing. Like, when I was at a point where I could see no hope, no future, my house was flooded, my marriage had fallen apart. I had double vision from Graves' disease. I was still not recovered from the broken leg. I had no work experience. I couldn't even drive out the driveway. I was on a rural property. She helped me, identify my strengths and what I'd actually accomplished already, even though I felt like I was absolutely useless. She helped me see my worth and helped me see a way forward.
That's nice, isn't it, when someone sees you like that?
It is. It's validating, and it's going, hey, you're in a hard situation. And you're making the best of it that you possibly can. Let's see what we can work together with.
That's great.
To help you move forward. And she actually helped me to enrol in a diploma in counselling. Well, helped me to realise that that's what I wanted to do.
So Sally's been there to help you through that.
Yeah.
And who's the other person?
Sheila. She's doing peer support program at the moment where we get together in the Lockyer Valley once a fortnight.
So how do you deal with that when caring gets in the way of life? How do you remind yourself that you have to go and do these things other than Sheila picking up the phone and calling you?
For me personally, I'm doing a diploma in counselling and they're hammering self-care.
So that's the most important thing. What else have you learnt about the importance of self-care during this journey? Because it's something that a lot of our carers have really struggled with, this idea that they sometimes need to put themselves first. What have you learnt around this?
You have to look after you first, because otherwise you can't look after anyone else. When I fell in a heap, no one did it. When I stopped juggling everything, no one picked it up. So it's essential that the carers do the self-care, realise that self-care is not selfish, it's not self-centred. It's essential.
It's so beautiful to hear that you've found some great help, but what does it mean to you to have been getting the support that you have been from Sally and Sheila?
I'm not alone. Yeah, it's hard still, but I'm not alone. It's decreased the isolation, but it gives us a little bit more resilience to be able to cope with that hard. Instead of being a rubber band that's stretched to the point where it's about to snap, you kind of get a little bit more of the flexibility back.
Which is a nice feeling.
Yeah, it makes it a bit easier. It's still hard, but it's a bit easier and more doable rather than this is just impossible. I can't do it. It's hard, but Carers Gateway has made it doable. They have.
Yeah. Gerowyn, it's so great to hear the guidance that you've had through Sheila in particular and obviously with Sally. But if another carer is listening and they're wondering, how can I return to work? How can I implement this for myself? What would you suggest? Because I know it could be a daunting thing trying to maybe tackle a new career like you've done.
It is really daunting, and you also look at it going, I'm so old. The coaching through Carers Gateway is really helpful. The other thing Carers Gateway's just brought in is actual vocational training, which I've just started that with Sam as well, actually.
What are you doing in the vocational training?
So she's helping me to identify what I've got to actually work on. So she's helping me with my resume, as well as helping me to identify where I'm wanting to work, what my capacity is, and what potential jobs are actually available that might work for me. And she's working with my son as well because he's 16.
Right.
And he's thinking about going in for a job. He's actually doing that right now.
And so she's helping him with the same?
Yeah.
So through the Wellways Carer Gateway, not only are they helping you with your vocational training, so refreshing the CV, refining your skills, possibly pointing you in the right direction, but they're doing the same thing for your son.
Yeah. There's just so much that Carers Gateway have helped with, but it's really, Sally helped me to identify my values and potential things that I might find interesting. So that was with the coaching to help me identify what I wanted to work towards. And now Sam's helping me with getting my resume sorted out and working out exactly what jobs to apply for. She's going to help do some role plays with me for interview process, and she's going to do that with Matthew as well to help prepare me for interviews because I didn't need to interview for a caring role.
You'll walk straight in on that one. What about Matthew? What is something that he wants to do now that he's getting that support as well?
He's still working through that at the moment.
Okay.
So Sam's got some work for herself, trying to help him to work out what he wants to do. His needs haven't necessarily been top of mind. He's either had grandma needing help or I've had needed help between the broken leg and the double vision.
He's been there for you
He's
as well.
been there for me as well.
Yeah.
He is an awesome carer. And a lot of times he doesn't notice what he's feeling himself. So Sam's helping him to explore that and work out what he wants to do and what directions to take moving forward.
But how important is it to you, and maybe to others, to get that chance to get back to doing something other than caring?
It's really important because nobody pays us. It would be really nice to get paid to do something for once, to actually have somebody acknowledge that you're doing something of value and pay for it. Yeah, and it's being a good role model for the kids as well so that they go, oh, I need to get a job at some point. It's really important to be able to find some way of doing that, because at some point the caring role is going to end, either through the person you're caring for getting better and not needing to be cared for anymore, or potentially getting worse and needing to go into a full-time facility or potentially passing away. So at some point the caring role is going to end. So it's really important for carers to be able to get back on that horse and get into a actual career and be able to do something with their life.
Yeah, and get back to what they either loved before or
figure out what they
exactly
want to do.
Yeah, which is so great. Gerowyn, thank you for being a part of this episode. It's so nice to hear your story, so nice to hear about your family. You're doing an incredible job.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see what the future holds with you and your counselling career.
Yes, it's kind of exciting.
It is exciting. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great chat with Gerowyn, and it's fantastic to hear about how much Wellways Carer Gateway has helped her get on the path towards a career in counselling. For carers out there contemplating getting back into work, study or volunteering, we thought we'd round out this episode with a chat with Kate Mulvaney from the Wellways Vocational Pathway Program. Kate, welcome to Tune Into Care Season 3.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So great to have you in. Tell me a little bit about Kate and what's your role within the Wellways Carer Gateway?
Yeah, so I work within the Vocational Pathway Program, and that's really about helping carers get into work, study or volunteering.
At what point will you generally meet a carer once they've come through the Carer Gateway?
Yeah, so they've come through the Carer Gateway and then they've been referred on to us because they've said those couple of words, work, volunteering or study. And then we've got vocational navigators right from Gold Coast to Cairns. So we're located only in Queensland. And those vocational navigators will meet with the carer one-on-one and, work out a plan of where they might like to go and help them to, meet their goals. Yeah.
Which is what we spoke to Gerowyn about. She was so excited about her chance to get back and learn a new skill and hopefully put that back into the workforce.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. She's a perfect example of how we're able to work. Sam out at Ipswich is able to work with her one-on-one and work out, does she want to do, in this case, she wanted to do training. So Sam and her sat together and worked out what sort of training might work and looked for the training providers. And we've also got a placement team, so they help her to maybe with a little bit of funding get into that training. And be placed in that, and we do a little bit of a follow-up afterwards to make sure it's a really good fit.
So, Kate, who is the program for? Is it for people who want to get back into work? Maybe they might be in work and they're thinking, I need a job that's more flexible and suits my needs. Who is it that can come to you and get help with this, and what's offered to them?
Yeah, totally. So we work with young carers, so 14 and 3/4 when they're allowed to get their first job.
Yep.
Right through to sort of that 60 plus and wanting to engage. So maybe a carer's never had a job before and we help them to do their first resume, and I know that it can be really nerve-wracking with your first job, so we can accompany them to their first interview and just stand outside and make sure that they're feeling confident and have that support person there. Maybe they've had a job before and they've been out of the workforce for a substantial amount of time. We had a carer just this week who'd been out of the workforce for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And we were able to get her a job. And it's just so thrilling that we were able to help her tailor her resume and her cover letter and get everything up to date. We did some little mock interviews, so little practice runs on how to do a job interview, and it really helped with that confidence. And then we've got carers who are currently actually working, but the employer maybe is not the best fit. It's really challenging with trying to balance that caring role and that position. So we're looking at finding a more carer inclusive employer for them. Is
it the case that carers will often come and say, look, I have done some study previously, but I haven't been able to use that degree for reasons being of the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years of caring. I don't know how I can get back in and do this.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot.
Do you? And how do you approach that with carers?
Yeah, so really looking at what they've done in the past, and maybe they've had that massive big career gap, and now we sort of look at where they are. Do they need to do like a quick short course to get them up to speed nice and quickly to get that job, or we look at all of their skills and capabilities and go, no, they are really ready to go into the workforce. We just need to tailor their resume and explain on their cover letter that, yes, I have had a gap, and that's perfectly acceptable. We've all, so many of us, over 3 million carers in Australia have, so there's a big cohort that have these challenges.
And so many of them would have transferable skills.
Exactly.
What's the hardest thing for carers to overcome before they come and have the conversation with your team?
We're finding a lot of them actually have these amazing qualifications and so many strengths, but confidence is a bit of a barrier. So, we're finding that working with them one-on-one really helps to build that confidence and for them to see that, yes, they really, can make a difference, whether that's going further study or whether that's going back into the workforce or volunteering. We're finding volunteering is actually being really sort of helpful for our older carers. It's finding the right fit with the right employer that's flexible with their caring role.
So what are the options available through the vocational program for carers?
Yeah, so we try and match our carers with carer inclusive workforce providers. So employers that are open to maybe having a little bit of flexibility around their caring role. We've got great relationships with registered training organisations, TAFEs and universities to be able to assist the carer to find a good fit with that particular training course.
You mentioned earlier that there's often a little bit of funding available to help with the transition back to work. Is that right? What does it cover? Yeah,
so we're seeing, a carer wants to do a Cert 3 in community services, so we might put a little bit of money towards that course. Or a carer wants to do an interview, but they haven't had interview clothes because they've been out of the workforce for 5 years. So we're able to give them a little voucher to go to Kmart and get a new fresh white shirt and things like that. So, just, token things, but they really make a difference to, pushing them in that, helping them to get in that direction that they want to go.
Would you say that's some of the barriers that they feel that they face as well, rather than just the confidence to go and do it, but it's all these other things that add up internally that they think, I can't do it.
Exactly. And the world changes, for example, resumes, it's all AI and, our staff are so knowledgeable at drafting a cover letter so that we will get through all of those AI issues and, getting them up to speed a bit more with, human resources has changed to people and culture and just so many things that you can sort of talk through one-on-one to help them have the confidence to know that, they can settle into the workforce. And then when they're settled into the workforce, there's that support there with a post-placement check-in.
So many things have been a common thread through my conversations with carers, and it's that they lose a little bit of themselves when they are caring. And, you're talking about a vocational program that they could go back and do. It's a little bit of themselves back.
It is totally, yeah. And as a carer myself, I really understand that. So I've got a 18-year-old daughter who's got spina bifida. So it's been 18 years of looking after her. And I definitely went through a phase where I just couldn't even comprehend going back into the workforce. So I did a little bit of study, and that really helped me to gain my confidence and to have something fresh on my resume. I then went into volunteering because I just thought, I can't commit to a full-time job, maybe just one day here or one day there, and I can say, no, I can't come in today. I've got, medical appointments or whatever it was. And then, as my daughter got older and better and, the supports were there, I was able to return to the workforce, and now I get a lot out of work, that talking to your co-workers and, coming in today, it's really exciting.
What are some tips you might have for carers who are considering doing something like this that might be a bit reluctant?
Yeah, just be brave. Make that call that 1-800 number. The staff are just fantastic. I sit in the call centre sometimes and hear them with their interactions with the carers, and they're so compassionate and understanding, and they will listen to your story and help you as best they can.
So I guess you're saying is have the confidence, be brave, and take that step.
Yeah.
Make that call.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
The program is so flexible, so we can spend 2 hours with you, do your resume, up you go, you're off and running. Or, there might be some real barriers there, and we've got to really dig deep, and we can spend a full 12 weeks, an hour or two a week over that extended time to really tailor things and get you in the right direction.
Which is great to know that that's available. They can pop in, they can make it work for them on their time. There's no pressure. It's much like everything else that's available through the Carer Gateway. They can come in when it works for them, or make a call, or set something, at a time that works best for them and their life.
Exactly. And we've got the opportunity to do it both face-to-face as well as digitally as well. So whether that means, you're in Mount Isa and we organise a laptop for you so we can do a Teams meeting and help you in that way as well. All of our programs, our coaching modules are able to be done digitally. It's
so great, Kate. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And continue the great work, because I know that Gerowyn is absolutely loving getting a chance to work with your team.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that wraps up another episode of Tune Into Care. A huge thanks to Gerowyn for sharing her story. And I know that the listeners will join me in wishing her the absolute best for her new career as a counsellor. And thanks too to Kate and all the Wellways coaches and vocational pathway navigators out there supporting carers to follow their dreams, whether that's work, study, or volunteering. To hear more carer stories, subscribe to Tune Into Care on your favourite podcast platform or streaming service. Carer Gateway is an Australian government initiative. If you're a carer in need of support, call Wellways Carer Gateway on 1800 422 737. I'm Billy Bentley. Thank you for listening, and thank you for all that you do.